The time a guy got stuck in an airport for 4 months and turned it into a business. Let me tell you the insane true story of Kyle Maxwell, a 34-year-old freelance designer from Oregon, who got stuck at the Denver International Airport for nearly 4 months and somehow turned it into a legitimate business. This isn't a movie plot. This really happened. It all started in December 2021. Kyle had just finished a 3-week vacation in Thailand, where he'd spent most of his money scuba diving, drinking smoothies, and dodging thoughts about moving out of his ex-girlfriend's garage. On the way home, he had a layover in Denver. What was supposed to be a normal 8-hour connection turned into a total disaster. His flight to Portland was cancelled due to mechanical issues. When he tried to rebook, he found out the next available flight wasn't for 5 days. The holiday travel season was a mess, and airlines were throwing passengers into scheduling chaos. Kyle had a bigger problem: he was broke. He didn't have money for a hotel, his bank account was frozen because his card was skimmed in Bangkok, and his phone was dying. So, he did what any desperate traveler might do: he stayed put. That was day 1. By day 3, Kyle was in full survival mode. He'd made a bed out of yoga mats from the wellness zone, brushed his teeth in the men's room using hand soap, and kept his stuff in a Hello Kitty suitcase he found abandoned near baggage claim. The janitors started calling him Terminal Tyler. He didn't bother correcting them. On day 4, while choking down a vending machine turkey wrap, Kyle had a bizarre idea. What if I just stayed? Not permanently, but long enough to ride out the situation. He had shelter, Wi-Fi, power outlets, food, barely, and restrooms. He even found a quiet, mostly unused lounge in Terminal C that felt like home. So he stayed. By week 2, Kyle had developed a routine. He woke up early before business travelers arrived, rolled up his mats, stashed his Hello Kitty bag behind a fake plant, and wandered the terminals like a weirdly resourceful ghost. He knew which stands gave free samples, which cafes had unmonitored outlets, and which TSA agents looked the other way. And then, something wild happened. While charging his laptop at gate B27, a stressed businessman struck up a conversation. Kyle casually mentioned he was a freelance graphic designer working remotely from transit hubs. The guy laughed and asked Kyle to take a look at his company's logo. Kyle whipped up a quick redesign. The guy loved it and paid him $300 via PayPal. Boom! Kyle had just made money from an airport gate. That one gig sparked an idea. By week 4, Kyle launched a brand for himself, Gate Hustle Design. He made business cards out of cardboard scraps and started handing them out to random passengers and staff. He pitched his services to anyone who looked bored, delayed, or emotionally destroyed by a missed connection. A wedding planner flying to Phoenix needed a new logo. A conspiracy podcaster wanted a UFO-themed brand. A crying real estate agent paid him $150 just to feel like his day wasn't completely ruined. Kyle was eating better now: airport burritos instead of expired wraps. He bought clean socks from Brookstone, paid $12 for a razor, and cleaned up. He didn't look homeless anymore. He looked like a guy on a hustle. Then he launched an Instagram at Terminal Hustle. At first, he posted weird airport stuff: a guy blow-drying a rotisserie chicken, a kid screaming into a neck pillow, a woman snoring loudly in a massage chair. People started following. Fast. Within a month, Kyle had over 10,000 followers. That's when the local news found out. A Denver outlet ran the headline, "Man Lives in Airport, Launches Business from Gate B27." The story exploded. TikTok creators picked it up. Strangers started recognizing him. People took selfies with him in the bathroom. Someone even offered him a couch to crash on. But fame has consequences. Airport security had been watching. On day 87, 2 officers approached him at a smoothie kiosk. They asked for ID. Kyle tried to play it cool, said he was just waiting for a delayed flight, but they had footage of him brushing his teeth for weeks and sleeping near vending machines. He was escorted out. Banned from Denver International for 6 months. But the hustle didn't stop. With the money he'd saved, Kyle flew to Vegas and stayed with a fan who offered him a spare couch. He kept designing. His Instagram blew up. He went on podcasts and gave interviews about airport entrepreneurship. He started posting videos about how to survive in airports. Eventually, he moved back to Portland, this time into his own place. He officially launched Gate Hustle Design Company and even started selling merch. The top seller? A hoodie that read, "I slept at Gate C-17." 6 months later, the Denver airport invited him back as a guest speaker. He gave a talk called Resourcefulness in Crisis at an airport innovation summit. TSA agents he'd once bonded with posed for photos. Someone gave him a smoothie. Kyle Maxwell never intended to be famous. He just wanted to get home. Instead, he built a business out of vending machine turkey wraps, free Wi-Fi, and the sheer will to not freeze to death in Terminal C. So next time you're stuck overnight in an airport, just remember, someone turned that nightmare into a company. And his brand? It started with a Hello Kitty suitcase and a whole lot of grit.